chief of the Exchange for Media Group. This is the best known media house that reports on the business of media in India, and the events that they do are very famous. Of course, Business World is something which he started later in his life, and it's one of the country's leading business magazines. Good to see you, Dr. Batra.
Thank you, Tarun.
And at the outset, the first question that I would personally like to ask you is, it's been a long journey from somebody who bootstrapped and started his first venture, and now you have so many brands under roof. How has this journey been?
Thank you, Tarun. I was worried you'd ask me about my bank balance, which is what Tarun asks me if he meets me privately. How much money do you have in your bank? And that's not a joke, okay? So I tell him I enjoy what I do. Money is a secondary thing. And my gratitude to Mr. Karthikeya Sharma and Aishwarya ji for inviting me to the Festival of Ideas. I can see Sharma ji, he introduced me to you more than 15, 16 years back. So my gratitude to you, Sharma ji. First of all, it is a great initiative. Really, you talked to me about my journey, but let me tell you that we are in 2023 and we are at the cusp of an even bigger revolution. And earlier, if you had money, that would make more money. But truly in today's India, if you have ideas, that will get you everything else. And money is a small part of that. So I think to start a festival of ideas, when India is all about idea capital, if I may use it, it's a right serendipitous thing to do. Coming to my own journey, first of all, I never planned to lose hair. So it happened. Similarly, a lot of other things happened. So, you know, when we look back, we give grand theories about how we sat and, you know, idea came. In my case, everything has happened serendipitously or accidentally, whichever way you know, I did what most Indians do of my age at that time. I went to an engineering school, then I went to a business school, and I come from a middle-class family. I got a job from the campus, didn't take it, joined another job, and then worked for 5 years. And then when I was working with J. Walter Thompson, one of my batchmates, who was also my colleague, me and Amit thought of this idea of exchange for media. Actually, Amit thought of the idea, and he said to me that, Anurag, we should do it together, and I think you can execute it. And then Naval joined us 2-3 months later, and then we started Exchange for Media to build a B2B exchange for buying and selling of media time and space. And a friend of ours gave us, you know, the friend gave us money to start the company. He gave me 70 lakhs to start the company in 23 years back. For the first 3.5 years, we couldn't build the exchange. We were very ahead of time. And we became a homepage for everybody in the marketing, advertising, media. And then we kept on building. And then I acquired Business World 9.5 years back. I lost whatever little hair I had at that time. So really things happened. I didn't plan for them. I do plan things now. So I genuinely believe whatever happens, happens because of God's grace, because of your parents' blessings, and you do some work. You're on a certain genre. And once you're in a play, you get ideas, people come to you. So in that sense, things have happened. We shouldn't take ourselves too seriously. You know.
One thing, you know, all the audience would also want to know, media is known as a glamour business. So everybody from builders to biscuit makers want to enter this space. Many times, many burn their fingers and want to sell and exit media. Can you present a true picture of what the media business truly is?
Like every business, of course, media is a unique product, unique service, unique domain. So it has certain nuances that no other business has. It has a certain impact. It has certain vanity. I have no problem in saying that. But media is a very tough business. You know it. You're in the media business. Mr. Sharma is a media entrepreneur, as in Mr. Karthik Sharma and Rakesh. He knows, every one of you know how tough it is. It looks glamorous from it outside. There is a sheen there, but it takes a lot of hard work. And you know, again, the structure of the business is such, the media model, the business model of media is such that unless until you really get it right, it can mean a lot of investments which may or may not deliver an ROI. The ROI may be different forms. And globally, Tarun, you know that media is owned by very large corporates. Look at the US. In India also that is happening. Whether it's good or bad, you know. But the fact is there is very few independent media that is left.
What I want to know is the idea of media, how the evolution will happen from now on. There are new technologies like artificial intelligence that now play a large role. If I see a news feeds of cross media organizations, there is a line at the end that this news has been generated by an AI feed. So there are no people required to generate news. Of course, analysis will still require people.
See, I think news, while there are AI anchors being brought onto news television, I think news is a lot about personalities. News is about people you can engage with, interact with. Maybe in the future you will engage with bots and AI generated personalities. But for now, the future is news is impacted by AI but not changed. The reason I say that is that in India, the way news is done, there are clearly a very strong point of views. So the one advantage of AI is that those biases go away. It will depend on scripting. Also, AI by definition is what is coming through machine learning, what has been done in the past. So while some of the functions of news will get impacted, are already impacted through news, news is a lot about personality. Will you be able to take personality out? Of course, if you are able to do that, if we are able to do it as media professionals and owners, then the dependence on anchors. Today, anchors have too much ego. I'm not talking of you. Of course, you're very humble. Neither any other anchor in NewsX or India News, Rana Yashwanji, I'm not talking of you. But they have egos. They have personalities. Any people business will have adulation. And you can engage with them, you can take a selfie, and you can accuse them on Twitter of things that they have done or not done. Now, if you take away, so news is a lot about personalities. You do a show on legal, it's what you do off the air also helps you prepare for the show. So I don't know how will you translate that, because at the end of the day, you follow people, you follow platforms, and you're not just interested in certain news, you're interested in how the news is served to you. And sadly, we live in echo chambers. So, the business of media and business of news will get changed. But in the next 2-3 years, the biggest change is the consumption of content through digital platforms. I think that is the biggest change. News channels and news platforms truly will become digital first, mobile first, YouTube first, and broadcast will support digital. That's the biggest change that will happen.
That's an interesting observation. Ladies and gentlemen, I read an article recently which spoke about how a young startup boy, he's about 28, he bought a Maybach after he got funded. He rented an office space at the Land's End in Bandra. The company soon went bankrupt and he's now on the market asking for funds for his yet another startup which he's planning. That is about my next question. You also happen to do some angel investing. And when we see these kind of boys who manage to get a lot of funding, but you seeing them splurging this money on big cars and big offices, and then the company goes bankrupt. If it makes money, of course, you're entitled to your cars and swanky offices. Why is this phenomenon being seen in India, and what is the way forward?
See, first of all, India is seeing an unprecedented wealth boom. All the top billionaires are getting more and more wealth. It got accentuated about COVID, so they have family offices. The period of 2018 till 22 was an unprecedented period where there was a FOMO about investing in startups. It drove the valuations up. Nobody talked about profitability or path to profitability. There was abundant capital, and what you did with revenue didn't matter. And we in the media made headlines, we started writing headlines about how much money you've raised, not about how much money you've done in revenue or profitability. But in the last 10 months, there is a winter of funding. Startups are going back to basic old questions. Who will pay for the product? Who will pay for the service? What is the profitable acquisition of a customer? What is the lifetime value of a customer? Funding has dried up. So founders are back to basic questions. Life is about trade-offs. First of all, you got to build the right base. You've got to build the right base for everything. If your base is not right, eventually your startup will fall by the wayside. And I must say, you have to choose. See, Indian entrepreneurs are very good, the top ones. But what you have to figure out, do you want to be rich or you want to be wealthy? I think more and more Indian entrepreneurs want to be rich, but things are changing, they want to be wealthy. The point I'm trying to make is when you make 100 crores, when you do a primary of 100 crores, you understand, I'm using 100 crores, these days sound small change, especially if I spoke in 2022 and I would have said 100 crores, people would have looked down on me. But the choice is whether you want to buy a new house or you want to invest it in your own business. So the thing is, things have changed. Such startups clearly are not working. No. They're not sustainable. In some cases, some people have lost money because they don't focus on the basics. But some people had very flamboyant lifestyles. They funded themselves with the funded money. So if you've gone out of business because you used capital for your lifestyle, then possibly you won't get funded again. Yes. But if you had a business model that at time was taking money and the environment changed, then it's a different ball game. But in business, you need three things in entrepreneurship. One, you need capital. So you have to figure out you want to give equity away, which is always costly, or you want to raise debt. Second is you need a team or talent or people. And third is you need customers. You got to focus on these three. And everything else is a support. If you focus on all these three, you will build a profitable startup. And today, investors are talking about profitability. They're talking about path to profitability. They're talking about unit economics. And also, the funded startups were advertising heavily in IPL. I have nothing against IPL and nothing against people spending on media. But the fact is, look at the quality of creatives they did in IPL. They were very bad. They were paying top dollars, but the quality of... So I think when money is easy, sometimes you tend to be profligate.
So basically you're saying the era of free money is over for startups?
For now. Capital is in cycles. Okay. For now.
What is your success mantra in the past 23 years?
Thank you for calling me successful, first of all. Thank you, Tarun. You're the first person who's called me. Mr. Rajkumar has never called me successful. But I don't know success mantra. I know you and me have private conversations. I have conversations with Mr. Sharma. I think, first of all, I believe Mr. Rajkumar has built, I was praising you to Sudhir yesterday, and you can check with your friend. He's built a fantastic university. I think success is about loving what you do and doing what you love. Money is a byproduct. Fame is a byproduct. First is the impact. So Confucius said, if you make your hobby your profession, you don't have to work. So choose something naturally that you enjoy doing, and rest will follow. I just want to say in media, we have glamorized entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is not easy. Some of you know what happens privately, especially if you're first generation entrepreneur, it's not easy. So I genuinely believe I'm a Hindu. I believe in prarabdha, in things are preordained. So I believe everything is preordained. We don't know what is even if we meet astrologers. But the fact is you got to put your best foot forward. You got to do the right thing. You got to focus on basics. And there's no substitute for hard work. Life is about trade-offs. Either you can spend time building an enterprise you like, or you can do whatever else you like. So whatever you focus on grows. So I would say my success mantra is, one is resilience. You got to be in something for a long period of time to be able to make it successful. Second, the ability to deal with uncertainty. And I'm not giving you cliche. I prepared for the session and I was thinking what would I say which I really believe in and apply. One is resilience. Second is the ability to deal with uncertainty. In an entrepreneur's life, every week is uncertain. Every day is certain. Dr. Balla, I see you now. Every day is uncertain. So can you deal with uncertainty? And last but not the least is, with all the doubts, I have doubts sometimes on myself, my ability. With all the doubts, you pray to God and believe yourself. So do the right thing for the right reason, the right manner. There may be a delayed gratification, there may be a delayed success, but it will come. That's what I truly believe in, and I'm not saying this on stage. And entrepreneurship is not easy. There is no get-rich-soon scheme. If they're possibly a scam. You got to work at it every day. You build a team. And, a lot of people talk about, I have met some entrepreneurs who made decent amounts of money, 500 crores, 1,000 crores. They stopped working hard. That's a choice they've made. But Mr. Ambani, I'm told, works still very, very hard, So I think every business has its own nuances, focusing on the basics, being resilient, dealing with uncertainty, and believing that you have the ability to make an impact keeps you going.
One last question to you. Entrepreneurs work hard, but they have a different pattern. I have seen interviews of various entrepreneurs. Somebody gets up in the morning at 10:30 a.m., does his meetings post 1. They work till 4 a.m. in the morning. Somebody will get up morning at 5 a.m. They say that's the best way to work, getting up at 5 a.m. in the morning. The other guy says, no, I sleep at 5 a.m. in the morning. That's why I'm successful. And these are some of the tops. If you said Mr. Ambani, Mukesh Ambani sleeps late.
I didn't say he sleeps late. I don't know that. I said he works very hard. I don't know he sleeps late or early.
Yeah. So
I don't know him that well.
How should an entrepreneur orient his life?
See, everyone has their own style. But as I'm growing older, even when you know me, and I try to sleep early, okay? Early meaning 11 p.m. for me. For me, my life revolves around my sleep. So, like I'm today very relaxed, calm, because I've slept 10 hours in the night. So, I think sleep is the most important gift you can give yourself. If you sleep well, you'll eat well, you'll be more mindful, you'll look at your phone less, you'll be better in taking decisions. I think the quality of sleep is the most. As far as what is yours, of course the circadian rhythm is 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. We have Brahmurat, Brahmila, whatever we call. So of course getting up, but for me, I get up at around 8 o'clock. Okay. I sleep at 11, I sleep 9 hours every night, you know that. I don't compromise on my sleep. Sleep is very important to me. A lot of people ask me, how do you have high energy? I say to them 3 things. 1, I sleep well mostly. 2nd, I have dreams. And 3rd, I have responsibilities. Between these 3 things, I work hard. But I work hard because I love what I do and I do what I love. So if you want to be an entrepreneur, your reason for being an entrepreneur should be right. I'm an accidental entrepreneur. I didn't plan to be. But now that I'm doing, I want to say this, do one thing at a time. Make it successful, then do another. Unless until you have a lot of resources, then it's a different thing. You can hire people and you can do. But do one thing at a time. Become an expert at that. Gain experience and then be an entrepreneur. If you want to be an entrepreneur, I want to say this last thing to you. I read this book. This is the first Festival Ideas. Fantastic quality of speakers. I see authors. I see my friend Mr. Nambiar, Mr. Bhuvanlal is there. I read this book called The Last Lecture. It's written by Randy Pausch. And Randy Pausch says something in that. He said, experience is what you get when you don't get what you want. So entrepreneurs shouldn't be afraid of experiences. There's nothing called failure. I have seen lots of experiences. I won't call them failures. But I've seen tough times and, I'm not saying it to sound good on stage. You know me well. Karthik ji knows me well. So but I'm at it. Because I love what I do and I genuinely believe that tomorrow will be better than today. So don't be afraid of failure. Experience is what you get when you don't get what you want. And embrace the 3 H's. 1 is humility. As you grow in life, be more humble. 2nd, hard work. And 3rd, hope. I get up every morning genuinely believing today will be better than yesterday. Tomorrow will be better than today. And, shun away the 3 C's I keep saying. 1 is comparison. Don't compare. My journey and Mr. Sharma's journey is very different. Your journey and my journey is very different. So don't compare. Each one's journey is unique. 2nd is complaining. We are blessed. If we are awake and alive and kicking after COVID and our families are okay, we are broadly doing okay. Everything else is a bonus. And you'll realize that. Not that I don't chase my dreams or my goals or my numbers. I do. And 3rd is criticizing. These days I find people who know more about me than I know myself. People criticize you and don't criticize people. You don't even know them well. You don't even know 5% of their life. So really, I would say if you want to be an entrepreneur, embrace humility. Ideas come to you. It is a festival of ideas when you are humble. 2nd is work hard. There is no substitute to hard work. 3rd is stay hopeful. Get up every day. I know the general manager of the hotel next day will give me a free coffee. I'm hopeful, Mr. Gupta. I'm sure you will. And as I said, shun away with the 3 C's. Enjoy what you do. Be in the moment. Stay away from your phone at least 2-3 hours a day. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you so much for your time. And thank you so much for the success mantras.
Thank you, Tarun. Thank you, Dr. Batra. Engaging, interesting, as well as a very involving session, as expected from Mr. Batra.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.